Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, freaks, and geeks of all ages, to a very special from UVMTV's Nerds at the Round Table. We are doing a review of the upcoming horror film Get Out, written and directed by Jordan Peele, a former Key and Peele fame. I am joined by my friend Luke.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Now, we just saw the movie just a few days ago, I want to say. Maybe 3 or 4 days ago. We saw it a little bit earlier, in fact. We had a special screening opportunity over here in Burlington, Vermont, and they played Get Out early for us.
Not only that, but the people who ran the thing, it was UVM Program Board?
Was it UVM Program Board?
I think so.
I didn't know that. I thought it was done through the cinemas.
I don't want to claim that. Anyway, whoever ran it, kudos to you, because we also got like some cool merch from it.
We did get some cool gear. We got some pretty cool gear. So yeah, we had a fun time at the movie. Very fun special screening. As far as this recording, most people won't see the film for another 2 weeks at least. So we got to see it a little earlier, and we're about to share our thoughts on it. So Luke, why don't you take it? Overall impression of the film.
It was a good time, I'd say. It was definitely it fell under the trope of like, oh, this is a suspenseful movie. And it throws all the suspense at you right at the beginning where it's really unnecessary, which I found super annoying. But once it finds its footing, like I'd say 30, 40 minutes in, like it's just smooth sailing from there, I'd say. Yeah. Well, not smooth sailing because it's suspenseful. But
well, yeah, it is.
It feels organic at that point is what I'm trying to say.
No, that's an absolute excellent way to sort of describe it. This film I found very interesting, especially in this particular time period, where it teeters on being political, but it isn't overt about it in its themes. There are certain sort of political themes that you could take from the film, even though it ends up being not that political at all. By the end of it, it does, but it doesn't. You know what I mean?
It's kind of weird. Like it sets itself up as like some sort of like message on race and like specifically black and white relationships or relations, and then it just kind of derails into this weird cult story.
Yeah, it does. We don't want to give too much away, but it doesn't derail in a bad way. It just totally sort of abandons that original premise that you might have been sold on when you go seeing the film, which is not a bad thing, by the way. It's what kept the movie suspenseful and surprising, I would say.
What I'd say is going into it like prepare to have like your expectations flipped. Like there's definitely some tropes that you'll figure out like, oh yeah, I could see that coming. But then it definitely does have its fair share of surprises, and it's not, I'd say, your traditional suspense film.
Yeah, I agree. The acting in it I thought was actually pretty well done. I can't recall the actors' names off the top of my head, which is really terrible of me. They're all very much smaller name actors. I know the girlfriend, her name was April, I believe, or was it Rose? It was Rose, I think her name was.
Maybe.
She was on Girls, the HBO TV show that was done by Lena Dunham. The lead, Chris, I don't know. I think this might be one of his first films. I don't really know him from anything else.
Yeah. I think his name was like Alex or something.
Alex
like his
something?
actual, yeah.
Yeah, but he was great. We probably messed up your name, actor who portrayed Chris, so I apologize for that. But you did a really great job.
Just put it on screen.
Yeah, we'll put it. That's what I'll take care of that. Yeah.
Now you have to.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah. So that was he did a really spectacular job. I thought he made the movie work. He was relatable. He was cool. He was calm. And he at least for me personally, he portrayed a really interesting way to show the sort of because there is a lot of discussion about race in this movie, even though it's not necessarily overt or necessarily the focus of it. There was a lot of discussion of race. He played the role of a black man in a very much white community. Very, very coolly and very interestingly. It wasn't overt in any way. It wasn't aggressive in any way. It was just very much decent, but also reserved, I guess is the best way to sort of describe it. It was a very interesting way to portray the role, especially in the midst of the suspense movie, where sort of there's a threat looming, but you don't really know what that threat is.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think all the actors portrayed their roles well. Like him being like, oh yeah, I'm being thrown into this place where it's like really white people who don't know how to act around people of other races, because I can personally relate to that because I'm from a very white town. So like,
does your white town really not know what to do with other races?
Yeah, like when a couple of kids in my class who like moved into town, and it was like the first black family I think that we'd seen in a long time. It was like, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just like, we're all like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah.
Because we're all from like the whitest town in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I found like the way people are like, oh yeah, I would have voted for Obama a third time, just trying to like seem like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the situation. I found it believable.
You know, on that note, though, I found in this movie there were actually quite a few times where comedy played sort of a key role in the film, because the movie is very much tense and it's very much sort of a one heart attack after another, so to speak.
It makes you very uncomfortable.
It makes you very uncomfortable. The comedy here, I've seen it break the tension better than most movies. Better, honestly, than like a lot of Marvel movies, I would even say. The comedy, and that's not surprising coming from Jordan Peele, who worked on Key and Peele for such a long time. But I was just so surprised to see that there was that much humor in the movie.
Well, I think what really worked in that benefit is at least most people know that comedy, a lot of it derives from just a feeling of discomfort. So a lot of this movie, you're feeling extremely uncomfortable because it's like suspense plus you're talking about race issues. So as a viewer, you're just like not very comfortable, and then they'll crack a joke, and you're like, okay, good, I can like.
That sense
It's
of
a
relief
relief.
is ultimately necessary, I think, and I think you're right on that. So yeah, Get Out is ultimately a very small film, a very focused film, very efficiently made, well done to Jordan Peele. A lot of people didn't think he'd be able to do sort of the horror/thriller genre after he worked for so long in the comedy world. But I'm impressed with his work. I love it. And I'd love to see more of these kind of films from him, to be totally honest.
I agree.
On a final note, I love the movie. I really think if you have the means, you should be able to go and see it. It's a very engaging, thrilling, and sort of captivating movie experience, in my opinion. Any final thoughts from you, Luke?
Yeah, I also agree. It's definitely worth a watch. Like I said, those first 30 minutes are a little painful, but the last 30 minutes, like in contrast, are amazing. And then the middle is just like solid. So I'd say it's definitely a good movie that just gets better as it strings along.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks of all ages, we want to thank you very much for joining us on this very special episode coming to you from UVMTV's Nerds of the Round Table. If you like what we did here, leave the like on the video, share with your friends, leave your comments on thoughts leave your thoughts in the comments below. Look at me stuttering here. To share what your thoughts on the film. Are you going to go see it? Do you want to see it? Are you surprised to hear that it's actually any funny? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to get some feedback and maybe even a little bit of a discussion on the movie. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can follow UVMTV Nerds on social media, on Instagram and Twitter at UVMTV Nerds. To stay up to date on when we post new videos, spin-offs, and just some behind-the-scenes stuff every now and then. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing the show, and we're glad to have an audience that is committed to following us. And on that final note, Luke, you have anything else to say?
If you have any,
No?
I was gonna do the Noah thing.
Well, I was making sure I didn't forget anything. But if I haven't, want to thank you again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks and geeks of all ages. It's been a pleasure talking to you about this film, and as always, live long and prosper.
Peace out, or get out.
Woo!